What's going on, guys? Pixcam back in with a brand new video. We are here at Tokyo Expressway with the Group 2 cars. I know it's a weird combination that we have here going on this weekend, but you can see we are starting in 5th place with a 124.0, and I was able to increase our time here for the qualifying, but unfortunately this was one of my earlier recordings, so I don't have one of the best times, but it was good enough to get us into 5th place as we were behind a couple Americans and a couple Brazilians, as this has been one of the best, honestly, daily races of the week. I liked it a little bit more than the Barcelona, and definitely a lot more than the Monza, because of Monza it's just basically a crash fest. But at least on this one you can have some really good racing as long as you trust the guys around you, and you can stay away from the middle or the back of the pack, as that's usually where the trouble zones are at. But we're gonna jump right into it. If you guys really enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. Anyways, that is enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into this race. Now, as we jump into the race, basically there's going to be no strategy on this race, as we are starting on the hards, and that's the only compound given to us. Don't have to worry about the fuel as we now jump into the actual race, as we are getting our 3, 2, 1. Getting it now, we get our green flag, and away we go now, as we are starting right behind the 4th place driver. Heading down the straight, we're heading to our very first right-handers. We're going to stay in the slipstream going into the first corner. Braking right before the 50-meter board, we're able to hit it pretty well, clip the apex, go into this S section of the racetrack, and try to stay right behind the 4th place driver and use him up when we get to the long straight on the other side of the track. So as we're heading to this fast left-hander, we're going to start going downhill into the hairpin, and again, just staying right behind him on the on the slipstream, as we are able to get away a little bit from 6th place. Braking right before the 100-meter board. There's a little gaggle of cars going on there as the Brazilian makes contact with the American. Well, these guys are beating and banging as the Brazilian actually spins out the American. The American goes spinning out. We get tapped from behind, and so much trouble going on here as the Brazilian gets a 4-second penalty, and we are going to lose a position here because we got tangled up with the cars behind us, as we are losing a lot of ground here. Get overtaken by another guy there, as he has a 2-second penalty after making contact with someone else going through the hairpin, and we are now under fire as we are losing a lot of positions here as we come down the straight, leading us into the final few corners. Going into this right-hander, we're staying right behind these two guys as we're going to slow down, but there's a guy that tries to send it onto the inside for a gap that wasn't there, and we get a 1-second penalty because of that, as we're now heading to the death chicane. And you can see right here, I slowed down to try to get single file into the death chicane because you do not want to go double file, but you can see one guy tries to sneak his way through it, another car gets spun out. Just craziness going all over the place as we lose more position because of the aggressive overtaking that's being done here on this race, and we get demoted back into 9th place after starting in 5th place. So onto the second lap here as we head to the hairpin. Going to the hairpin once again, you see there's a guy that gets yeeted out, sent to the shadow realm, and we're able to get a position on him here as we're now getting pressure from him once again, and we have to go to the penalty zone, serve a 1-second penalty, and we might lose a couple more positions here as we're serving a 1-second penalty. So do the cars ahead of us and a couple guys behind us, as right here you can see we are ghosted. At least I thought we were ghosted. In the rearview mirror, see there's a car coming up to us here, and this is the result as we are now heading down the straight. Going back to the race, we get tapped out from behind, and because of that we get a 2-second penalty. Well, it isn't even our fault. I thought we were ghosted, and on top of that I had nowhere to go because of the cars ahead of us, and it's just a straight. So I was taking the shortest route around, and now we have to serve a 2-second penalty. I felt bad for the guy behind us because he should have not been able to hit us, but we took the worst end of that as we lose 2 positions here now going to the death chicane. Back in 8th place as we head into the death chicane. We take it single file, as this is the way you're supposed to take it. You don't want to go double file in there. It's just, again, it's not the smartest idea to do, as the Canadian actually gets a 1/2-second penalty ahead of us, so not sure why he got that. And going down the straight here, leading us into the 3rd lap. We're now going 3 wide with 2 cars, which is not something you want to do going into turn number 1. We back out of the move there, try to take a smart move there, and we're able to do so here as everyone gets through cleanly without any incidents. And we're able to just focus our sights on 9th place now as we're heading to the inside. So shifting our way onto the inside of the 9th place driver, he is able to get a better run than us on the exit. And we're just going to stay right behind him on the slipstream as we once ahead go into the hairpin here. Going right into the hairpin, we sneak it onto the inside, try to make the overtake as we're clipping the apex, and we're able to do so here, but unfortunately we're gonna have to serve our 2-second penalty. So because of that, we're gonna lose even more positions as we are now heading to the penalty zone. Coming to the penalty zone, we serve our 2-second penalty, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 cars all get around me easily, and an extra one just to add insult to injury. We are now demoted back into 15 places. We are almost in last place, so not a great way to be running this race, as there's a car that gets taken out during the death chicane, and we're able to easily overtake him as we capitalize on that and shift our way now into 13th place as we now go into lap number 4. So once again on the S's here as we're heading into the second sector. We're staying right behind 12th place here as we're trying to get our apexes as best as we can. Go on to the inside of 12th place as he gives us a little bit of space, but we have to back out of here as we did not want to run into the wall, because once you run into the wall you can easily get a 1 or 2 second penalty. So that's one thing we have to be careful of as we head into the hairpin. Try to outbrake the car ahead of us as we kind of do, but we get a little bit loose, and that's going to cost us on the exit as we are still in 13th place here as we fast forward down the straight. Following the 12th place driver, we get a great tow as we go into the slipstream, shift onto the inside as he actually makes a little bit of contact with us, as we did try to give him room there, and for some reason he still went to the left hand side and made contact with us. Go on to the right hander. We're able to secure our 12th place position and set our sights once again on the 11th place driver as we head into the death chicane once again. Clip our first apex, clip the second apex, try to avoid that wall on the right hand side, as that wall actually took me out a couple times early in the day, and we're luckily able to get into 12th place now as we have another car right behind us on our slipstream. He's trying to make a move onto the inside. We give him the space here as we're heading to the couple of right-handers here. Going into the straight, leading us into this right-hander. We're staying on the inside of the 12th place position guy. He's able to make an easy overtake on the outside, which is a really good one, but he makes contact with the wall. I was thinking about trying to stand on the inside, but again, don't want to go into the death chicane too wide, so we just let him have the position, and we stay right behind him here. Try to get a good run coming off the death chicane, as you can see we were able to do so here. So we shifted back onto the inside of the final corner, try to get a great run on the straight, and we're able to do so here. Hold off our 12th position, but we're just focusing on the mirror right now, see where he's going to go here, and luckily he just stays right behind us as we are able to secure our 12th position once again going into turn number 1 and set our sights on the 11th place driver. So we fast forward a little bit more into the race as we are now on lap number 7, and we were able to catch up to these guys once again ahead of us. So we're just trying to find where we can try to make some overtakes here as the 10th place gets punted out from the now 10th place driver, and we try to make a move onto the inside, avoid making contact with the 11th place driver, and we're able to do so here as we're staying right in the slipstream of the OP straight line here. Going into the left part of the track as we're just trying to find some gap here. We're able to do so, make an easy overtake around him, and we're attempting to get into the slipstream with the 10th place driver, but fortunately we're just a little too far back, and we're able to have our 11th place as we now come into the final couple of corners. So we're trying to get closer and closer to the 10th place driver as that guy actually got disconnected ahead of us. So we get promoted into 10th place, and the 10th place driver gets promoted to 9th place as we are now coming out of the hairpin. Staying on the slipstream of the driver ahead of us, are we close enough to get into the slipstream as we are now passing the penalty zone, and unfortunately we're just a little too far out, but we can hopefully try to get a little bit closer as we come into the final few corners, as we are now coming to the final part of the straight. Going down to the final part of the straight, we're actually getting a little bit of time on him, so I'm not sure if we just got a really good exit, but now we are in the slipstream here as we try to go onto the outside, try to use as much track as we can, but in doing so we accidentally made contact with the wall, but fortunately we did not get a penalty now as we come into death chicane once again. Overcooked the death chicane as the slipstream just gave us too much top end speed going to the death chicane. I missed my braking point, and you can see how much that costed us now as the car ahead of us was able to just further his gap as we try to close it back up now as we are now on lap number 10. So coming out of the hairpin once again, we try to avoid the wheel spin as we short shift into second gear. Going down the straight, the car ahead of us has to serve a penalty, so we're going to see if we can capitalize on his mistake as we gain all the time on that driver that had a service penalty, and we're able to overtake him, easy overtake, and get our way into 8th place now as we head into the final few corners. So as we come into the final few corners, there's a car scraping along the wall, so not sure what's going on, and for some reason it just parks on the outside onto the wall. So Not sure if he got disconnected or if his controller got disconnected, but it was just very, very weird to see that he was just riding along the wall, kept it on the wall, and then just immediately slowed down and stopped. So I'll take it, but again, I just don't know exactly what happened to him, whether the controller got disconnected or if he just got disconnected from the lobby. But we're now up into 7th places. We are on the final lap. Just trying to take it very easy here as we accidentally make contact with the wall coming out of that fast left-hander. And that makes us a costly mistake as we have a 1.5 second penalty going into the hairpin once again. We have the blue car right behind us. He actually makes contact with us, pushes us out. We get punted into the wall going into the hairpin. He gets a penalty there. And we have our 1.5 second penalty that we have to serve after getting punted into the wall and then getting overtaken by the 8th place driver. So coming down to the penalty zone, we're going to have to serve a penalty here. Serving our 1.5 second penalty. We lose 1 position, 2 positions. We're going to lose 3. Fortunately, there was nobody close enough to make it 3 cars that we were going to lose. But you can see now we're trying to catch up to the guy that punted us out of the way as we're now coming to the final couple of corners once again on the final lap. Shifting onto the inside, there's another car riding the wall on the outside. So not sure what's going on there, but something is going on where cars are just riding the wall on that left-hand side and just stopping. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on as there's a yellow flag going to the dash chicane. Going into here, there's actually a car on the left-hand side that stopped as well. So multiple cars have just been stopping on this racetrack, but I'm not going to complain about that as we were able to make an easy overtake on him and promote ourselves back into 10th place. Crossing the start-finish line, unfortunately, we were unable to get a great result here after just so many things happened on this racetrack. And the penalty just basically kills you. If you get a penalty on this racetrack, just be expected to lose like 2 or 3 positions every single time you get the penalty. Or if you get the penalty in the beginning of the race, you're going to lose basically 10 positions because of how close everybody is. But going into the final part of the lobby, the guy that did pump me out at the end, he actually apologized, but I kind of understand why he missed his braking point. It's really, really tricky going into the hairpin, especially when you have a car very close to you in the front. So we just talked about it at the end of the race and nothing crazy to go over. But other than that, it's just a really hectic race. I wish we could have done a little bit better on the race, but we'll just try to do it on the next one. So how are you guys enjoying this race? How are you guys enjoying this week? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you guys really enjoyed the video, please subscribe and leave a like on the video as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And if you guys enjoyed the video, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.